It's nearly 2:30 and this Thursday afternoon, the 15th of December. This is today on ENCA, DSTV Channel 43. If you've just joined us a short while ago from 2 o'clock, and just before that, in fact, since about 1:30, we brought you here on ENCA Live, the media briefing by Eskom. That was taking place a day after the resignation as CEO of the power utility, Mr. Ruyter. He's now an outgoing CEO. He's going to hand over the reins in March 2023. He says he's not abandoning ship, and he says it's been a privilege to serve the embattled utility. The board also laying down a plan of action to resolve the ongoing struggle to keep the lights on. In fact, as we speak, according to its chairman a short while ago, Mpoma, the board is now heading into a scheduled board meeting at which some urgent matters need to be approved. Well, let's get some analysis about some of what we've just heard at that media briefing, which also included the Minister of Public Enterprises, Pravin Gordhan. I'm joined now by independent energy expert, Mohamed Madhi. Mohamed, good afternoon. And just like us, you were following that media briefing. Can I just begin with an overriding question first to you? What stood out for you, the briefing we've just heard?
So good afternoon, first of all. Good afternoon to all the viewers. I think for me, probably the most interesting thing is, the focus of attention was on the CEO and the CEO leaving. There were some statements made by the minister about the structural problems within Eskom. But I think we need to keep in mind that the problems at Eskom are going to be solved at a higher level than Eskom itself. And what this means is that we need a competent and capable set of officials in the public sector and politicians who are able to understand the problem and deal with it in the way that it should be dealt with. So the impression I'm left with is that we still have an entrenched set of individuals, the Public Enterprises Minister, the Minister of Energy, various other officials who are still in place and who are actually part of the problem because they do not understand, they do not have the competence, and they do not have the experience in this field. It's like taking someone who's, an artist and making him the Minister of Health. Similarly with infrastructure, similarly with energy. You simply cannot do that. You need experts in the field to be able to deal with these issues.
Do you think this matter of Eskom has become highly politicized? I mean, just the other day, the Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy, Gwede Mantashe, saying very explicitly, explicitly that the Eskom is agitating for the overthrow of government.
Yeah, look, I think that was probably an off-the-cuff remark. I'd be very surprised if he genuinely meant that. If he did, we all should be worried, right? More worried than load shedding. Because certainly Eskom is not, in my opinion, in my estimation, not agitating for the overthrow of government. And it's not the most efficient way to be agitating for the overthrow of the government, right? So I think it is politicized. It also comes at a time now where within the ANC, there is a number of issues that play. There are a number of things that they have to deal with. The elective conference is coming up. The president was under a lot of scrutiny. So there's a whole melting pot of issues that contributed to Eskom being more politicized than it normally is.
Yeah. You said now there are some entrenched individuals, just to borrow from your expression, who are involved in this whole energy issue around Eskom, and they don't understand what needs to be done. Do you think if such individuals were to leave, things would improve?
Look, it would only improve if we got people with the right understanding and with industry expertise and experience to be in the highest decision-making circles of the energy problem in this country. And that is not in Eskom alone. So Eskom, actually comes a little bit down the food chain. It starts at the ministry or the relevant ministries, not just one ministry, and then, a host of officials who are on the administration side of what happens in the energy industry.
Okay.
And then some related entities like the IPP office, like various other entities. So we need the right set of expertise. I'm not saying there isn't any, there are some excellent individuals involved. You know, some of the new DG of the Department of Energy, but he's new, he's still finding his feet. So I think that is what I mean. The entire ecosystem of people who are involved in the highest decision-making around energy infrastructure in this country needs to be looked at and needs to be replaced with people that are competent.
Okay.
Of course, there are some that are competent.
Final question to you, Mohamed, as we conclude here. Although he says it was an honor and a privilege to be the CEO of Eskom, do you think it was a mistake to have appointed somebody with no energy experience as the CEO of Eskom, and he's been in place in the past 3 years?
So I think two issues, and I've mentioned it before as well, you know, on this station several times. I think it was a mistake not to appoint someone who understands the industry. We need technocratic leadership. I think Andre de Ruyter was unfortunately put into that position. So it's not, you know, through no fault of his own that he was appointed. But I think we should have appointed someone who had a much better grasp of the industry, of the technical issues, etc. The second thing is we need to get a panel that is representative of a wider section of the political community and a wider section of the business community that has a say in the appointment of the CEO, so that the CEO's position doesn't become this football that is kicked around between different people and everyone takes collective somewhat takes collective responsibility for this. And this can be done through a properly constructed panel. And we need to really stop making the CEO position the scapegoat position. And, you know, there is a certain element of drama that people want and that sort of people favor. And that's why the clamor to get rid of the CEO. We need to remove that kind of behavior from the whole discourse on the energy infrastructure.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait and see who's going to take over that very, very hot seat at the moment of being the CEO after Andre de Ruyter of Eskom. Thank you very much for your time and insights as usual here on ENCA. That's independent energy expert Mohamed Madhi.